I'd be freaked out too if I was one of your employees. I mean, take a look around the world today. We see large companies having serious problems. We see companies going bankrupt. And we see tens, hundreds of thousands of people being laid off in companies all over the world. Of course, your people are going to be a little bit freaked out and could possibly panic about all of this that's going on around them. Now you might be thinking, well, in our company, we don't have those problems. In our company, things were more or less solid. Okay, maybe. Still, the economic crisis is going to negatively affect your people, whether it comes from your company or from the outside environment. And as an executive, it's important for you to do something about this, because you can't just let all of that negativity surround your people. You can't let it sit on them, because otherwise it's going to eat them alive. So you've got to deal with this problem. Well, actually, there's two problems. The first problem is the economic crisis itself and all of the negative baggage that comes with it, and specifically how that's going to affect your employees, their job, and their future. But there's a second problem that you have to take into consideration, and that is the impact and the effect of all of that negativity on your people's work performance. Let's get real. If people are unsure about the future, if they're scared about losing their job, or they're not sure of where the company's going, don't you think that's going to cause productivity to go down? Don't you think that that might affect how they serve your customers? And ultimately, don't you think that might affect how they interact with each other? So you've got to deal with these two problems. Otherwise, the crisis will hurt you, even if it's not hurting you directly. So what do? You tell them the truth. If you're a manager or an executive, I really believe there's 4 specific things you've got to tell your employees the truth about. Number 1 is the economic crisis itself. You can't pretend that it doesn't exist or that your company is choosing not to participate. Number 2, you've got to tell your employees the truth about the company's position on the economic crisis, meaning how will the company respond and what they're going to do in the future. If you don't tell your employees the truth about the future, they're going to make it up themselves. They're going to talk to each other about it, and guess what's going to happen? You're going to have a lot of confusion, a lot of stress, and a lot of uncertainty. And that definitely is not going to help you in an already difficult situation. The third thing that I think is important you tell all of your employees the truth about is specifically what next steps they can expect and anticipate, so they can prepare their work for the future, or maybe their life. Look, this whole idea of telling all of your employees that 10% of the staff will be cut over the course of 6 months or a year, to me is ludicrous, unless you tell specifically who will be cut and when they'll be cut. Otherwise, all of your staff are going to be afraid that they're going to lose their job. And of course that's going to affect their performance. It's going to affect their morale. And ultimately, you're going to lose more than you already would. The fourth thing that's really critical, I really believe this, is that you let your people know exactly what they can expect from you. Are you going to be an executive that's going to look at the crisis and all of this economic turmoil that we have as an opportunity? Or are you going to look at it as something to be afraid of and something that you should hide from? If your employees know the truth about these 4 areas, I'm not guaranteeing that everything's going to be perfect, but at least they'll know. And knowing now is better than knowing later. Now you might be thinking, well, John, if I tell them the truth about all that, they're going to freak out. Well, probably. They probably will freak out. But here's the thing.